I'm kind of into the Braum. The Braum angle's pretty good.
It really allows you to control how the level 1 goes very well too, and potentially stop some lane swaps. And
Canyon going to be canceling this one. You can see Peanut not really in the area. No knock-up going to come through, but Keen is keeping him interested for now. Canyon shows himself, and Zeus going to do his very best doing some alcove gaming here. Knock-up going to be available with that Searing Charge, but now Canyon with the Nimbus Strike and with the ability to close that gap is going to be looking all right. Does he have a Scrap Shield? No! First Blood goes over to the Blacksmith on the top side as Keen gets First Blood on Ornn. Lighting that quiver over and over again until the Braum maybe dies. There's now Peanut diving on in. It's just going to be Zeka clearing out the wave though, trying to get a little bit of tempo back here in this game as HLE are running out of a bit of control. Canyon moves over and will be able to take one of these grubs. HLE wanting to grab the next two. So it's not going to be any feats of strength as far as objectives are concerned going down just yet. Stura going to get slowed down and will be HLE answering. So Shock Blast not going to connect as now HLE might be looking for a little bit of a turn. Crash down from Dura gets him out of dodge.
And the Guzzle Blow's not gonna quite connect. And Delight over here trying to make something happen again. This wave's not in a great spot to follow up, but they want to try.
Yep, Battle Braum, he's going to dive on top of Ruler. The door is going to be given. That is decent peel from Duro, but now Ruler with no flash, trying to survive as, oh god, Zeus is possibly just dead. Scrap Shield at the right time, but Keen just flashes on in. And there's the Ornn solo kill.
The cowl. Front, you know,
Spectre's Cowl's also
together.
So good against Rumble.
Yeah, he just puts it together and he's like, why just keep pushing these advantages and I trade up against you repeatedly. He's got grasp and eventually just runs Zeus down in the lane. You hit some of those knockups, you end up winning out.
But is going to bring Chovy towards his top lane. They're going to be fighting for these grubs. Winter's Bite doesn't connect onto Ruler, who does have his flash back up and available. Chains of Corruption going to be coming on through as Viper now getting lower and lower. Winter's Bite goes wide. Magnastorm picks up both of the tanks. Chains of Corruption there as well as Canyon's in with the Cyclone. They try and mitigate as best they can, but it is not enough. And there's a kill going over to Ruler. Zeus, not entirely sure about that one, buddy. And he is going to go down. Does, you know, put some hot stuff on the ground there.
I think he was able to pick up a pickaxe off of that that back. Comes in, and you have no control there. There's a Rel, there's a Wukong. It's not a winnable fight. You don't want to give over those grubs. I understand this. So there's a really nice window here for them to come over and take this dragon. You can see Canyon's trying to get something back. Is going to go over here and steal away some of Peanut's camps at the same time. Like this team fight is on the cards for a while. Zeus may get caught again.
Yeah, Canyon's moving on up, and yeah, I don't think Zeus is getting out of this one. Yeah, some hammer boops. I think Chovy was thinking about giving his jungler an assist, and then said, nah, just can't be bothered waiting.
He's putting a big hole on the top side of the map for Hanwha Life. I mean,
and this is going to be feats of strength as well if this turret goes down. There's the taunt, connects only onto Chovy, who flashes away. They don't manage to take down the turret on this push, but it is looking worse for wear. Canyon's moving on in, wanting to get these 5 minions towards that turret. Audacious charge from Peanut onto Duro. Magnastorm going to come through the point-blank heroic charge as Peanut's flashing away. The Cyclone doing a fair bit of work here. Zeka trying to be tanky, goes back in. I don't know about that one. As there's the snipe, just one after the other. We're all able to take the kill onto Peanut as well as some icing on the cake.
Here for Gen.G and the turret.
And the feats of strength as everyone's flashing. And yeah, Canyon looking for a little bit more. Shock Blast comes on through there as Delight able to stand beside the minion. Arcane Shift out from Viper. That gets them to relative safety. It's pretty soon. Only a couple of levels away from that. In fact, just one level away from building his first one. And then he's going to be able to make all of the other players' stuff really, really cool. And turrets now falling by the wayside. The outer on the bottom side of the map, not long for the world, as we're looking for
Chovy?
A Hextech Dragon. Yeah, Chovy could be in trouble. Zeus almost just dies as the heroic entrance comes on in. They do manage to get the Justice Punch, but Chovy's so tanky. Now Canyon looking to take down this Rumble. That is going to be successfully executed, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end. And now the Ornn Horns coming through. The triple knock up everyone just in the blender as Viper and Ruler are fighting, and we know that that is not a fair one. Delight goes down. Peanut trying to do his very best as these health bars are so low. And Peanut going to get knocked up. Duro takes that as his opportunity to crash on through. They do manage to take down the Wukong. And Peanut does have a lot of sustain in these fights. Wind becomes lightning, and they do need to kill Keen. He's a lot of money to be taken down, but instead, Keen's looking to try and get it himself. That mini taunt, though, is going to be great, and now Duro has no damage.
Yeah.
And so they could just walk towards him, but with Ruler moving down, that means that HLE not going to be able to find any more fight.
All of these knockups coming through. Keen gets the double, knocks up with the Rel, then gets the secondary knockup with the secondary activation of the Ornhorn, and the Forge God is on his side.
Yeah.
And then Keen flashes in for the kill here, and we end up getting a few more knockups in this exchange, and Peanut gets his own, and there's an extended fight. If Ruler was here, this would have been a disaster. Peanut getting that last Sundered Sky proc, really helping him survive here.
Yeah, the Xin Zhao really demonstrating the amount of sustain that you still have in this kit of his.
Like, watch this. He's like, oh,
God.
One more auto. Okay. A second here. Some of the flexibility of the build, you start getting ahead like this. If you were considering going for Pimple Winter, you can just change it up, build your tier into something else.
Look at that. That's some side lane money. Gets him out of the way, but that is an equalizer on cooldown. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, and here in the mid lane, Zeka fighting against Canyon, does have the dash cannon, but my goodness, this is a Wukong that's doing a fair bit of work, finds another charge there as in goes Peanut and finds Ruler. There's the flash taunt, and Ruler once again. This mid lane has not been his best friend, and now Keen sets up the train. Will he be able to get the knockups? Of course he will, as Canyon takes down the enemy 80 carry, but now the Bash Bros are getting back to it. Zeus is looking real healthy, and Peanut and Delight just struggling to take damage here in this game. Zeka as well, going to be okay, and 3 are on the floor for Gen.G. How did that work?
I get it.
HLE.
I get it. You know, you've got a cleaver, Canyon, and you want to use it, and he was cleaving. Well, there is no reason to make that play into a comp that has a global.
But the problem is it's down to a 3,000 gold lead now. Remember, HLE, they had an extra dragon, and now they're all piling on top of Peanut. Gen.G back on the horse once again, getting rid of the jungler. Absolutely fantastic, especially only 25 seconds away from this Baron buff that's going to be spawning, and a second Hextech Dragon. Hextech Soul could be a 4-stack here for Gen.G if they continue stacking them up.
And for a lethal tempo Varus, he's going to love it. No.
Which is a little bit unfortunate.
He has a arm guard, so he's got one big fight maybe.
All right, possible battle coming on through here, as we could have a Gargoyle joining at any time. Viper free hitting over the wall is fantastic positioning. Knock up onto Keen now as Peanut dives forward. They look for Canyon and they take him down. The train has left the station, but there's no follow-up. And there's the concussive blows we were looking for. Finally, Chovy shows up, but he is way too late for this party. And Ruler as well, he's even later. I think everyone's well and truly gone home, even the people that stayed the night.
I mean, starting this Baron, though, is super greedy for Hanwha Life. Zeka still has ult. I think they think they can do this. Duro looking for that angle, doesn't have flash, tried to hex flash in, but is avoided.
Yeah, well, Peanut can kind of tank it forever as Chovy's over this wall. Zeka trying to keep him interested as the Baron going down lower and lower. Remember, there's only one smite, and it's going to be Peanut that locks this one down. And now Chovy, he is just dead. Peanut dives forward. He's got the support of the Galio there as well as Duro going to get knocked up and taken down. This Xin Zhao, an absolute monster, even from the grave. Speaking of monsters, Zeka needed to press that arm guard, otherwise he was dead. Ruler still does the DPS, but not now from the death chamber.
Back away. And if they did try to do it, Zeka's ult's coming back, so they can just easily come over there. They're using the Galio pressure super well, and man, this game for Gen.G felt unlosable.
Terrified of this buff as Duro in a really awkward spot. Yatakan down to about 8,000 health as now Peanut's just walking on up here. Teleport in from the Galio, but he's now surrounded. Viper really far away from this fight. And look at the equalizer. Ruler standing right on top of it. Canyon just spinning, having a great time though. Still, the train, it's not going to get past the door. It's so powerful. Duro going to get executed, and even though Viper's dead, it's still looking all right here for HLE. Zeka just as punching his way in. The winds of war coming down as Chovy gonna get tagged. In goes Peanut now as they're trying to find the DPS. Down goes the monkey, and it's a bloodbath in here. Zeka is just untouched, though he cannot take damage on this Galio.
Zeka's Galio, man, is so impressive
here for Gen.G. Well, we'll see whether they can actually get up here in time as Gen.G moving over Vision as they make their way northward. So it is with full information that HLE are going to be able to now move up and try to contest. He's going down lower and lower. Peanut is going to have to face check. True Shot Barrage spots out the damage being done here. So Otacon will go over to Gen.G. They have that, but they lose Soul Point for it. If I was there, he's get them out of here.
Yeah.
And he is going to do so. Lands on top of Ruler there as well, as he can now start trying to cook him. As Delight, the flanking Braum! And they get on top of Ruler. They're looking to send him home early. He's trying to get these autos down, and finally he will be taken out. But Gen.G, they're fighting back. The True Shot Barrage finally going to be sent over. And this was an absolute Hanwha Life Esports disaster. Not really what you wanted to see from them. And Gen.G even still have a whole bunch of Otacon buffs as they're looking to break open the base.
Viper here, one man against the world, but I think these Gen.G health bars are just a little too high.
Is it just the end of the game?
I think so.
That's the big question.
I mean, Viper's all out of mana.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually at least send a few of them back. That is first Nexus turret to go down, but these health bars are getting lower and lower. Keen, he's trying to flash in as the Shock Blast goes wide. These health bars, they're barely hanging on. But the Nexus turret loses interest. Another minion wave is going to taxi its way in. And Gen.G, after trying their very best to throw it as far up the pitch as they could, they pull up their bootstraps and they walk up, they get that ball, and they take it back to their base.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.